Hello, my name is Steve Rennie. I am the Ren Baron, and this is my Ren Baron Learning to Fly YouTube channel. Now, as most of you know, I am the very proud owner of that beautiful Cirrus SR22 Turbo you see behind me here. And like so many Cirrus owners and pilots, I was attracted to it not just because it's sleek and it's sexy and it's powerful. It's also one of the safest planes in the air. Everybody knows about that Cirrus parachute, and that's pretty amazing for sure. But what also makes the Cirrus so special and attractive to me is its state-of-the-art avionics. I truly believe that it makes me a better and safer pilot. That Cirrus Perspective avionics suite is as deep as it is powerful, but it can also be very intimidating. Knowing what information is available to you, how you access that information, deciding how you want it displayed is no small feat. And the truth is, every pilot is unique. And because of that, the system can be customized to display the information each pilot wants to see and where they want to see it. The key to putting all that power at your fingertips is in setting up your own pilot profile. When I took delivery of my Cirrus SR22 back in 2018, it was literally the first thing I did with my Cirrus transition instructor. I was lucky back then to have been assigned a great instructor to help me do it, and today I've enlisted the help of that very same instructor to help you as well. His name is Mr. Ed Watters, and I've affectionately dubbed him my Obi Ed Kenobi. He is truly my Cirrus guru and the first call I make whenever I have any issue at all with my plane. Ed is a bona fide expert on the Cirrus Perspective and Perspective Plus avionics system. In 2017, Ed was voted the top Cirrus CSIP of the year. He also serves as the president of training for the Cirrus Owners and Pilots Association, better known as COPA, and presides over their Triple P program, their Pilot Proficiency Program. Today, I'm posting the first in a series of videos where Ed is going to describe in detail how to set up your pilot profile in the Cirrus Perspective and Perspective Plus avionics system. So let's head out to the cockpit and get started.
Good morning, my name is Steve Rennie. I am the Ren Baron, and this is my Ren Baron Learning to Fly YouTube channel. And this is Obi Ed Kenobi, better known as Ed Watters, CSIP of the Year. He's going to be giving us some tips today. Tell us what you want to work on here today. It's going to help a lot of brand new Cirrus pilots.
I've been working for Cirrus as a contract instructor at the factory for, I guess, the last 4 years, and probably done about 50 aircraft deliveries, and including yours. I think it was the summer of 2018. That's all been with the Perspective Plus system. Common theme with the pilots who come in for their deliveries and new pilots to the Perspective Plus is they're overwhelmed with the avionics. So a lot of the pilots, Cirrus pilots upgrade. So they're coming from Perspective, coming from Avionics airplanes. They're coming from other airframes. Like you, I think you learned on a Sling.
An experimental Sling 4.
Yeah, Sling 4. You might have had a 430. Maybe you had a GTN. Maybe you came from a glass cockpit.
So I had a little bit of familiarity.
Yeah, I worked with a pilot recently who got his private in a 150, old Cessna 150, and then came and picked up his 22 Turbo. So there's a lot of work to learning the avionics. The way I kind of express it is like you and I, we're kind of simple guys. This morning we had coffee and a banana, for breakfast.
Yep.
And once in a great while, I'm sure your wife will say, "Well, let's go to Sunday brunch." You go to Sunday brunch, and we have our little plate, and we walk over to the brunch, and we're overwhelmed with it. We don't know what to take. We take our two things, and then we go back and sit down, and we've missed about 30 or 40 of the different items on the buffet, and this is really the same exact thing. So, I get a lot of questions. I see a lot of things posted on Copa. People have their settings set up, and then they get the software upgrade, they lose them all. So what I've done in every delivery over the years is when the customer leaves the factory, they have a setting they can start with, and there's nothing in the manuals about this. It's simply, I'm probably 1,000, 1,200 hours in with the Perspective Plus system between the deliveries and doing instrument ratings. So just wanted to give a tour of the system and how I set it up as an example that I found to be the best practices for me and then for others. Okay, so here's some of the things I see when we come up with our fuel page. If you've added fuel, let's say we're at, right now we're at 56. So let's say we had tabs. So let's just remember 56, okay? There's two buttons that can move this forward. There's the enter button, which I can see you've worn pretty heavily. All right?
I've
That might need a little disinfectant, you know. And the other button that moves it forward is the weight and balance. So what we saw during 2018, I believe, was we would see pilots setting the fuel totalizer with the enter button, and the enter button would move the page to the weight and balance page, but it wouldn't
save
the totalizer. So what Garmin, and Garmin, I think, probably knows me well from my letters I send in, but really they have undo, they have weight and balance. They should have a confirm here, but what I use for a confirm button is the weight and balance.
As opposed to the
enter button, because this might move the page to weight and balance, but not set the totalizer. So I've been on a lot of flights where I took off, and I'm looking at what we're going to have at our destination. We're going to be minus 30 gallons, and I know that's not right, and it generally comes from improper setting the totalizer.
So when I set this, if we were at 56 and I wanted to go to 60, right? I've always just hit the enter button.
Yep.
And see if that puts it up to 66. And it did.
Yep. So some people don't display fuel on board on there, so you don't see it.
Okay. So let's go back to fuel here.
So I'm going to set it to 56.
Little dial is for individual.
Yeah, little dial. People say inner and outer. I say little and big. Okay.
I'm with you.
So when I want to move over, I always press this button because I found that to be flawless. And I think we know about the weight and balance page. That might be new for folks who don't have a Perspective Plus. But this will do our weight and balance. This will chart. We get an indication of where we are at takeoff, landing, current in flight. We need to have the flight plan in there, and we need to be moving for that one. Okay? Sure.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So I know I'm 190 as of this morning. That can't be 215.
No, I'm 180.
180. Okay.
I was 175 last month till the Girl Scout cookies came.
Okay. No excuses here.
180.
Back here.
Yeah.
180, and
Excellent.
then have to hit enter there. Yep. 64 TCAS is loaded up. Passengers, no passengers in the back. Passenger left, we got 0.
And we got our golf clubs in the back.
Actually, that's our passenger 0 left, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So what do we got? 2 golf bags. That's 50 pounds. We'll call it.
Sounds good.
Ed and I are taking extra golf balls given the state of our golf game. On the right, we've got some gear. Call it 20 pounds of flight bags in that. Then in the back, I always go a little bit on the high side. Is that a good idea?
Sure.
Okay, so let's go 70. Confirm. That's the confirm button you were
Correct.
looking for. Okay.
There we go. All right, so that takes us over to our map page, and I can see you get field of vision on there, things like that. So let's. What I always do is I create when people leave the factory or leave me, I create an IFR profile and a VFR profile. So I just want to set up those profiles. Okay.
Since you set mine up, Ed, I'm going to leave it to you to set it up again.
So first thing we do is we go over to the aux page, and then we go to system setup and create. All right. So I'm just going to type in IFR based on current settings, and I'm going to create and activate. Okay. Okay, so everything we do now is going to be saved. And for folks who want to play with different settings, I always say create a profile that's called Do Not Use. And when you want to play around and change things, and test them to see how they work, just use your Do Not Use profile. So I start with the PFD. All right, so over in the primary flight display for IFR, let's just go to PFD Options.
PFD Options here.
Okay. Synthetic Vision SVT. So I can see you have everything on here except for FPA, which is Flight Path Angle. Flight Path Angle came out only in the 2 software, which was 2019. That's gone now. Your next update is going to be N4. And Garmin realized that that wasn't very practical. So FPA is gone. So you like pathways?
I love pathways.
Personally, IFR, I don't fly with pathways, but you get pathways. All right, so hit the back button.
That was a little gentle shot there, folks, but that's okay.
Under AOA, all right, I have it on all the time.
Okay.
All right, so I just don't want it popping up on me.
What did I just have it? I had it.
You had it on auto, so when it becomes active, it pops up. So I just rather just keep it in the screen, keep it in my scan. Okay.
Okay. For the record, folks, that's this little item up here, which our friend Chuck Calley is going to talk about.
Correct. Wind.
Got
Okay.
that. Got it.
So I'm an option 1 guy. And option 1 gives you the arrow, the direction of the wind, and the velocity. Option 2 gives you the headwind and crosswind component.
Okay.
So I think in the next revision of they'll add option 3, which combines them both. But I like option 1, and it's not so much for IFR flying as it is flying a pattern. It really tells you how wind's going to affect you when you fly your pattern downwind, and on that downwind to base turn, what your ground speed's going to be, and it really helps you plan ahead with situation awareness.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one I leave on all the time, Ed, as a new pilot, just because it just makes it so much easier.
And you can see if you're doing an approach, you can see if there's any wind shear. It just becomes more. It's more
for
me. It's more intuitive.
I like to check it every time I'm coming into the runway.
So let's go to Map HSI.
Map HSI. Okay,
Yep.
I'm going to click that right there.
And we do layout.
Let's go layout.
Okay, so what I like for IFR flying is have the inset map up. So press inset map. Okay, and then if you hit the back button.
Okay, back over here.
We're going to make sure we have detail. Let's put detail 3.
Okay.
And we're going to have NextRad on there. And we have traffic. Okay, so that's all we need there. So back button. And that's pretty much it for the PFD.